Hey guys, good morning. How you going? Hope you're having a fantastic time. It's the end of another week here on the homestead. Of course, I'm going to show you what we've been up to. We've got some more chickens to introduce. I didn't feel like I had quite enough. We've got some more chicken names to show you. And as you can see behind me, we've been working on this field here, strimming it off and taking that over to put a very thick layer of mulch compost onto one of the small fields that's going to be set aside next year. But whatever you guys have been up to, I hope you've had a fantastic week. I will, of course, talk to you soon. Have a good one. Well guys, so as we've been strimming off this field, we've actually found in here, we have got some volunteer trees already growing. These are actually plum trees. I did find another walnut, but yeah, so little plum trees. They were in amongst all of the daisies. I mean, you can see how tall the grass was. It's higher than these trees, you couldn't even see them. But we've got quite a few scattered around, and there's loads more over there as well. We're just raking everything up over here. This has all been mowed, but all of that stuff still needs to be gathered up. But yeah, lots more little trees that we didn't know about. So that bodes well for this forest that I'm potentially growing. Still have this area to burn off. So in here there is a load of old apple wood. But yeah, you can see how high the grass was. It goes right up to head height. But yeah, inside there, see, it's all dead old wood. So we are going to burn that off. I'm going to have to put a heat shield in front of this tree, but we'll burn this off, and then after that we'll start working on the pond. Well guys, the walnuts are starting to change colour. A few of them up there getting very dark. As the husks start to turn dark, the walnuts start to fall off, and they get lost in the grass below. So you've got to be very careful about picking them. The ones at the very top ripen first, and then they ripen down the tree. So they are a real pain in the ass to pick. So this year, instead of picking them, I've just laid out some tarpaulin. It's only covering about a third of the tree's footprint. So we're only going to catch about a third of the nuts, but it also means that only a third of the tree's roots are covered. And as you can see, these little black things, those are actually walnuts that we've already managed to collect. The husks will rot away. The nuts inside are perfectly fine. I'm not saving them for food. These will be seed walnuts. And over the next couple of months, we'll see how many this walnut trap collects. Well, as you can see, the little baby chickens are doing very well. Now for names, see this one right in the middle, this one, that's going to be Zebedee. She's slightly darker than the others, so Susie named that one. So this food that you can see them eating, so what that is, that's a mix of barley and corn that's been ground up. And then I've got some figs in there and some grapes, and it just gets wetted down and turned into like a paste, and they sit there picking at it. And I've just put it on this old fence panel, just so that it doesn't just go straight into the ground. They've also got a bit of melon today, and they're a bit cautious, but some of them are discovering that they like melon. But yeah, so these chickens are doing very well. All of the others, Katsu, Gandalf, all doing very well. Well guys, last week Whitey died, so I didn't have any white chickens left. So I went out and got a whole load more chickens, a couple of coloured chickens of colour. But yeah, so we've got loads of white chickens, and the whitest white one, which is that one right at the back, that is Chickenletta, or Chickaletta, for Russ's daughter, one of my best mates from school. His little daughter wanted to name that chicken Chickaletta, named after a character in Paw Patrol apparently. So I'm probably butchering the name because I've never watched the show. But anyway guys, these are the new chickens inside at the moment, but they will be coming outside in just a day or two. Well, and the other chickens doing very well. The Polish Frizzles in their luxurious apartment. and Lady Cluck, of course, the big Australorp there. With these, I've got 5 of the little ones, and it turns out 4 of them are roosters. With Captain Flaps in here as well, I'm going to have to split them up. So they will be going in with the other 2 flocks to get the numbers down, so we've got a better ratio of roosters to hens. So I'll be splitting those up in a few days once those other chickens have been through a 2-week quarantine period, just to make sure that they don't get any diseases. And that's Biggles. He'll be the first one to go. He'll probably be going in with the white chickens because they are slightly larger. But we'll just make sure that they haven't got any diseases before we start putting the roosters in. That one drinking now, that's Rockstar. He has a very fluffy poof on his head. Anyway guys, let's go see what else is up to. Well guys, this volunteer squash has really taken off, as you can see. So last week I showed you it was up to about the edge of that glass pane. Still got to build the greenhouse here. So yeah, these were volunteers, and they were next to the compost heap, so I must have chucked some seeds in there at some point. But yeah, they've grown out quite far. But yeah, they came to that edge, and since then, in 1 week, they've grown all this way. So we're looking at 2 meters of growth in a single week on the vine. Very aggressive growth. We should see some good pumpkins come off this later in the season. These will probably be a full pumpkin. We did harvest the others from over here. The stalks were starting to turn, and the pumpkins hadn't been getting any bigger for a couple of weeks. So they were about at their biggest, and they were definitely at their healthiest, so I decided to harvest them then. Now, I've been thinning out some of the leaves in the middle, and with the pumpkin harvest as well. All of this is new growth, and as you can see, flowering away. We actually have down in here, just, I don't know if you can see because it's in shadow, but there is a new pumpkin just starting there. So these are already reproducing. But yeah, so a bit of pruning and a bit of defruiting has kicked off another growth spurt, almost up to the barn, and we'll see what else we get out of here before the end of the year. So this growing bed here had some problems with fertility this year. We got some yellowing of the leaves. As you can see, all the corn has been chopped down. This was the old compost heap, the darker stuff, and at the back there, that's all the grass that's coming off that big field, and the weeds and the plants, everything that's there, and that will form a very, very thick mulch. Next year this will be set aside, so it's got over a year to rot down, and we're going to put a load more biological material back into the soil, and hopefully, well, it will improve the soil health massively. Of course, I do grow organically, so there's no chemicals being used. We are just having to rely exclusively on composting and very thick mulching techniques. Well guys, the grape harvest on this grape is done. We did actually have to get the ladder out to get grapes because there are vines growing all the way up into this tree, and we had in this cherry, and we had a lot of grapes right at the top. But they've all been harvested now. I won't be cutting this back. I've done a little bit of pruning, but yeah, it's straggly enough that I don't need to worry too much about pruning off all the side shoots on this grape. Hey guys, so this vine here, it's doing much better. Last year it got a very severe pruning. As you can see, it's produced quite a few grapes. They're not ready yet. A few of them are just getting there. So this grapevine did have a very bad year last year. Just produced a few small leaves, but it's also taken off into this apple tree that's next to it. And as you can see, the apple tree is now completely full of grapes as well. So in a few weeks we'll be harvesting these and making even more wine. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of the chickens and everything all around the homestead, and seeing everything we've been doing this week. Now, if you would like to name a chicken, please drop it in the comments below or hit me up on Facebook, whichever. And if you've got any questions or anything you'd like to see me address in any of my videos, please feel free to ask as many questions as you like. Anything about from how I got here to any of the growing stuff I'm doing, or anything else. If you've got anything you'd like to know at all, please drop it in the questions, because it always gives me something to address in future videos. Anyway, guys, yeah, well done, Flaps. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will, of course, talk to you soon. Have a good one.
Say some days just can't chase the blues away, waiting on 5 o'clock in a hurry.